As the presidential campaign heats up, local cities and towns continue to deal with COVID-19 and state-imposed mandates. To give us updates on how COVID has impacted their communities, I spoke with West Springfield Mayor Will Reichelt, Easthampton Mayor Nicole LaChapelle, and North Adams Mayor Tom Bernard.
We're pretty steady. We're just around 90 cases. Our deaths have not increased, thank goodness. But our concern and our strategy is around what's happening in the communities around us. One of the things we're taking a hard look at is a city of 16,000. With the numbers that we have, while they are steady numbers, it's very few data points, right? And contact tracing is really adding into that. So it's hard to get the actual numbers. We look more as real people, and the trends as far as rate of transmission, as well as the number of data points that we can compare and pull in from surrounding municipalities. Certainly West Springfield we're taking a look at. North Adams is a little far away. But we're doing okay. The big variable now is that we are 100% remote for schools. And how do we, when we see our health metrics stay stable for 3 weeks, what does opening public buildings mean? And how are we going to contain those likely cases that come up?
And Mayor Reichelt, how about West Springfield? What are your numbers looking like and what's trending?
So we had a little spike last week. And again, our buildings are also closed and our schools are remote. We have high need students back right now, and we're bringing more back over the next couple weeks as we shift towards a hybrid model if the data shows that we're good. And the same like Easthampton. Our numbers are good. At the same time, we're surrounded by 5 other cities, so we want to take that into account as well. Their numbers seem to be going in the same direction as ours, so trending down. Whereas we had that little spike, and we're hoping that's just the maybe coming back to school type of thing. Everyone's coming back home, but it's going well so far. Our concern at the same time is, once we bring all those students back, what's going to happen? Because they haven't been back since March. They haven't really been together since March. We've had some small sports activities going on, which is still happening, but they're not going to be together in the same capacity and density they have been since March.
And Mayor Bernard, how are things shaping up in North Adams? What are your numbers in that community, and how are those trending?
Yeah, I think we're all going to tell a very similar story. Our numbers are 61 cases, so again, a fairly level trend since this started. We've got the added factors, talking about adjoining communities. We've got Williams College right over the border, and Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts, MCLA, right here in North Adams. So we had an influx of new folks into the community as both of the campuses started in-person learning. And I want to just say that they've both done a terrific job with their testing, their tracing, their quarantine, their isolation protocols. And so we haven't seen any significant spike contributed to that up to this point. So that's good. We did start the year in a kind of a rapid phase into remote learning. Last week, we had our youngest students, our pre-K, and then some of our special needs, special populations as the first group served. This year, we brought back K through 3 and 7 and 8. Next week, we'll phase in 4 to 6 and 9 and 10, and then 11 and 12 the final week in a hybrid mode. Having the same concerns everybody does. What's that going to look like? We've done a great job working with our facilities folks, our district leadership, our teachers, our staff. But the thing that worries me is when you walk around the city and you see, as Mayor Reichelt said, sports activities, and especially the unorganized sports activities where you see groups of kids gathering in a park not wearing masks, and you worry, what are they bringing home? What are they bringing from home to the park? And then what will that mean? So I think we're all very cautious about what the future is going to bring. At the same time that we do know that getting kids back together with their teachers and with their friends is just so important for their well-being.
Well, the last time I had you on this program, the 3 of you together, was pre-COVID days. And we talked about the challenges of running your respective communities back then. And my, oh my, how things have changed over the months since then, obviously.
I miss those days.
As we sit down today, what kind of, let's say, economic impact, for example, has COVID had on West Springfield, Easthampton, and North Adams. Mayor LaChapelle, what kind of impact?
So I will say right now, the economic impact hasn't truly hit. It's like we see the tsunami coming. So there's been some, really quick with the businesses that have shut down and just started to reopen. People are hanging on. PPP was helpful. The EDIC loans were helpful, but that money's running out. And again, the tsunami is coming. I am very concerned about things after December. I think there will be no exceptions of who is hurt economically. We do have a loan program coming and rent release program coming. That money will go very fast. So I anticipate, very hard times. It is devastating now, but it is frightening what comes at us because we don't see any life preservers being thrown from the federal government.
Mayor Reichelt, what about the economy in West Springfield and what COVID has done in terms of negative impact to the economic conditions of that community?
From a city level, we haven't really seen the economic issues yet. The state's level funded the budget, our local aid has been good, but the big question is, what's going to happen next year if the federal government doesn't step in? The state's already told us that we're not going to see the same level of local aid, which is going to have a devastating effect to our budget, especially on schools where we're already spending more than we usually would to try to get everyone back, to adding different staff and different COVID and PPE needs. All kinds of money's going out the door, with the only kind of silver lining this year being that we were level funded. And at the same time, we had hoped for a lot more education funding this year. So, there's that hurt to begin with. But just getting through a normal year, we're good for now, but we know it's going to be painful next year. And we haven't really seen a lack of property tax revenues coming in, but we know that businesses on their level are already hurting. And if there's no more relief coming from them, then next year we're going to start to see our local receipts with meals tax and hotel tax take a hit. This week right now, I should be over at the Big E, but obviously that didn't happen this year, and that's a huge regional economic driver. So all those vendors, all those local vendors that are usually down there, even people that are parking cars at their houses off Memorial Ave, a lot of those people depend on that money, and they're not going to have it this year.
Mayor Bernard, what about North Adams? Are you in basically the same boat? What's the economy look like there in northern Berkshire County?
Yeah, no, we're in a very similar boat. Our small businesses are struggling. Our restaurants are, trying to stay open, and as the weather gets colder, that's going to get harder and harder. Yeah. We're standing up our own micro lending program or lending program to micro businesses, but that money is going to spend fast, just as the money that's coming to us is going to spend fast. Yeah. A third leg of this sort of fiscal tsunami, that's a challenge, which is we're a heavily aid dependent community. Over 40% of the municipal budget comes from state aid, whether that's the unrestricted aid or the Chapter 70 school aid. So again, this year, great that we were able to secure level funding. It's helped with our budget, but we know that next year is going to be a lot harder. And for an aid-dependent community, it's going to force some really tough, really painful choices that we're not, I won't say we're not prepared for, but it's going to be the work of the next several months to prepare the community for, so that we can have conversations. We can do it transparently. We can do it with trust. So we're going to be a long time coming out of this. Yeah,
you mentioned a good point about restaurants in towns. Obviously, with outdoor dining and the weather being fairly good, restaurants have been able to serve outdoors. But as it gets colder and they have to go to indoor dining again, how difficult is this going to be for some of those restaurants? And what concerns are you hearing in your respective cities and towns from restaurant owners? Mayor Reichelt, we'll start with you.
I think the governor's extension of outdoor dining is great, but as I talk to regular businesses, outdoor dining is going to have its own expiration date when people no longer want to sit outside in heavy down coats to get a drink and dinner. It's going to be great now. We'll have good fall days, again, the Big E weather, to take us through maybe the end of September and early October. But after that, even with heaters, the amount of people that are going to want to sit outside and eat is going to diminish. And I think the outdoor dining has been fantastic throughout the summer. And in some places in Westside, they've had more seating than they would otherwise have inside because the outdoor spaces we've allowed them to use are larger. But as we approach, the winter weather, they're going to be hurt by that. I think the governor's new reopening plans that will go into effect on Monday, where parties can be larger and tables can be closer if they're separated with plexiglass or some other kind of structural barrier, will be helpful. But again, I'm not sure that even people may feel comfortable. They like the idea of, while they can go to a restaurant, it's outside and then there's fresh air and it's moving around. They may not want to go inside. So we're still going to see that population that doesn't feel comfortable eating inside. And at the same time, while the capacity may be a little larger, it's just not going to make up for normal times for restaurants. And as Tom said, a lot of these places were just getting by to begin with. They had 3 months or 2.5 months of being completely shut down, and the revenue they're making is just trying to get them back to where they would have been. And it's unfortunate. I mean, it's COVID, so the fact that it happened is unfortunate. But, talking to people back in February, they were having their best years ever. They had great 2019s, and they were going into 2020 with just roaring months leading into COVID, and that right before St. Patrick's Day, which for Western Mass is a big time of year. So they've definitely been hurt by that generally. And all the accommodations we're making, they're happy with, but I don't think it's enough to really overcome or block us from that tsunami that's coming. Because I definitely think, in we're likely to see some kind of resurgence with this as we enter flu season. And at the same time, that people aren't going to feel comfortable going out, and they're not going to visit these restaurants in the same way they were all summer long.
Mayor LaChapelle, you've implemented a mandatory mask wearing in public places in Easthampton. Why did you implement that measure, and how is that going?
It's going actually very well. We just saw, as we're getting ready to reopen a little bit, our streets are really small. I think that's something you see, I'm hearing from my fellow mayors, a lot of the same issues that I'm facing and likewise, but how you deal with it in a specific community. For us, in our busiest areas, our sidewalks are very narrow, as are our streets. And we saw folks and we heard folks got a lot of complaints that people were worried about that. And with more kids moving around to do outdoor learning and whatnot, it was more and more of a concern. The point of businesses doing so well in 2019 is absolutely true in Easthampton. We saw expansion getting ready to just jump into 2020, and that has radically changed. We really need to work with our businesses to help them pivot and know how to pivot a business model wherever possible to keep them going. The other thing I was looking forward, and now I'm just grateful for, is our cannabis money. So we're looking at over $1 million in cannabis, and I'm not saying it's going to save our budget for 2021 and even into 2022, but I have a plan that's far out around reductions in staff, but that is pretty far out compared to my fellow mayors that I've spoken to because of cannabis money. And it's been, it's a lifesaver. There will $1 million go fast? It will. And we're talking about planning and spending. I think about what we've spent already on PPEs or different COVID interventions that we now know by science weren't the most efficient. I expect spending money that 6 months later, we're going to know by science that, sure, it helped, but it wasn't the best. And I'm afraid I'm not going to have that money to get the best for my city and public health. And public health and safety is connected to mental health and, business confidence. I have no idea how I'm not, paying for it almost isn't a part of it for me. It's just like, I don't know how I string it all together. I just don't.